Hello, Cancer. My name is NiJiLL. You have found alchemy. Welcome to your August 2025 reading. We have re-pulled these cards from your summer 2025 overview. If you haven't listened to that, I invite you to. It's a pretty short reading, and it'll probably be this part will be more in depth. But as promised, we've re-pulled the cards. And I also wanted to remind you that your birthday reading is out. So that's going to cover 2025 to 2026 Cancer only Picador reading that will encompass 3 blessings that are heading just for you within birthday of 2025 to birthday of 2026. Okay, all that out of the way, we're going to re-summarize this just a little bit so you're not totally lost if you did not listen to the reading. But please remember that the other reading will be more in depth as far as this pile is concerned, okay? We do have action here, and it says Jupiter, courage, new beginnings. So you have the potential for something new here. As we know, Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius. You could have Sagittarius highly aspected in your chart. Look at your Jupiter sign for sure to see if maybe it fits in with the rest of this reading. But let's see. I'm going to move some of this out of the way so we could get to the stuff. Going to move this down here just for now. Now, you do have the 9 of Vessels here. And as we talked about, this is the Vessels are a separate suit in this deck. It's a massive deck. And this is an actual alternate card for an alternate suit, if that makes sense to you. And it's very Leo-esque. It represents the ether, and the ether represents all the elements into one. Like each jar has all the elements in it in the ether suit. But this is very Leo-esque, right? And this is from the painting or the idea of Leo Verebus. Sorry about that. Leo Verebus. And that is the lion devouring the sun. Look that up on the internet if you'd like, right? And it's very Leo-esque, like I said. It's to put it short, purification is that lion's goal by devouring the sun. And change is afoot. I'm oversimplifying this because I do go into it in much more great depth. But the bottom line is change is afoot here, okay? Now you have these 3 cards. All the large cards we take only in the upright, but I do take note of them when they come in the reverse. So here you have for your first card, you do have the Tower. And you know, the Tower is Mars Aries energy. A lot of people believe that it might be Scorpion Pluto energy. I guess it depends which book you read. For me, it's more Mars Aries. And it's sudden and unexpected change, right? So we see changes afoot here with this Vessels card, and change is definitely afoot with this Tower card. You may be the instrument of this change. That might be true. Or you just might be the person who's becoming affected by the change. Let's see. You do have, I mean, these are very strong cards. You also have the Death card, which is Pluto, Scorpion energy. So there is a chance of double Scorpio here, depending on what your belief system is. This originally did come in reverse when we did your summer overview. And there was a lot of Pluto Scorpio energy in your summer reading, just to recap that a little bit. But anyway, change is afoot. I mean, each card is saying change, 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 right? This card did come in reverse originally. This could express your resistance to change. There is a rebirth process here on the table after this Tower. And you also have the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords also came in reverse, at least initially. And we know that this is the sword of truth, right? It slices through everything. It's very air. It's pure air energy. And your search for the truth starts elusively, right? Because you may not want to accept the truth, at least initially, right? It ends, though, as sharp clarity and onto that Jupiter card of new beginnings. So there is death, rebirth, change, new beginnings. Maybe something being a little fuzzy and becoming extremely clear here for sure. You have here the Queen of Swords coming in reverse. Now I take this 2 ways, you know, especially now that I'm looking at it, right? You also have the King of Swords in the upright. Now this could represent you and another person. Very different dynamics. Very different dynamics. It could be one person not, I mean, with the sword is upside down, just like the sword would be upside down here. This could be one person not seeing the truth, period, end of story, and the other person seeing it extremely clearly, right? This is the divorced couple of the tarot. It could mean a rebirth in a situation that was dead and buried, something that had broken up previously. You may have another chance at that. But we have Saturn and Libra energy with this Queen of Swords. And in reverse, someone has sort of, it could be, listen, the Queen of Swords in reverse is pretty sharp tongue, pretty sort of, could be nasty, right? Could be someone has brought that side out in you here, Cancer. Or it could be that someone is directing it towards you. But, the more I look at these swords, the more I think that for many of you, this is the idea of not accepting the truth and accepting the truth about someone here in your life. You are being asked to look at things from a new perspective with this Piscean Hanged Man energy. And my sideways cards are always a choice. And it does make sense, right? A choice on whether to make a sacrifice for this situation or a choice whether to see something from a brand new perspective, right? And here you do, like we said, we have the King of Swords coming in the upright, and that is Sun in Aquarius energy. Straighten that out. That is Sun in Aquarius energy, and it is counterpart energy. When I see two, a king and a queen of a suit in the same reading, especially this close together, I can't help but think counterpart energy, right? And this could be about a relationship. I mean, it just seems that way for many of you. It just does, right? It could be you're divorcing yourself from a situation. It could be in the past you have divorced yourself from a situation, either by choice or not. Maybe the two of you broke up. Maybe you'll have a new chance, an unexpected change in this situation. Only time will tell. We're going to go through the reading and we'll really get a good look at exactly what the heck is going on here. But when we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus energy. And Venus is love, it's beauty, it is commitment, it's also our money. But in this situation, I can't help but think this is very, very love-based energy here, Cancer. Okay. On this side, you have fame and fortune, and it says, you are about to steal the limelight, clear any fear of success, and let yourself shine. There may be, I mean, this could be taken many, many ways. If this was a money reading, I would take it a certain way. And of course, this could be a peripheral thing that's going on in your life where you're about to receive some serious recognition for your work. Definitely. But this also could mean that someone is gaining a different perspective about you, and they're starting to see you in a different light than maybe they did in the past, right? You have this, the Great Serpent. Now, the Great Serpent is number 65 in this deck. It's a new trajectory, right? And that makes sense. It kind of goes with everything we just said. It is a brand new trajectory, a new outlook, seeing things with this Hangman energy from a different point of view. This will start and end with you here, Cancer. The choice whether to stay in this, the choice whether to accept this, the choice whether to see this from a different perspective, your choice, totally. It's going to start with you and it's going to end with you. So you have a lot more control in this situation that perhaps you had in the past. You have Gemini here, and this is number 3 in this deck, and very mercurial-based energy, right? And don't forget, that you could be dealing with a Gemini or somebody with very strong Gemini placements. The situation itself is very Geminian, right? Seeing things from a different perspective. Geminis are very multifaceted. They see things from all sides. They could change their minds a lot, so there could be a change of heart here for one of you or both of you. But you also have this Mercury retrograde energy that's going to be encompassing most of August. When we count in the pre-shadow period, it is most of August. So there is a chance of, communications, somebody taking what we say out of context, something we say being taken out of context, lost emails, lost communication, things like that, right? Messed up travel plans could be also. Look up Mercury retrograde, especially for your sign. You have here Lolo, and it says stand in the light. I love that butterfly energy. It's very, very Scorpion based, right? It's that Pluto Scorpio energy, that death and rebirth energy for sure. It does say stand in the light and allow yourself to stand apart and be seen. You remember when I said somebody is seeing you from a different, they're just seeing you differently. They may be looking at you like you're the one that got away, suddenly. This may evoke the jealousy of somebody else, right? But don't hide your light. Your light is what's bringing this person back. Now, does this person deserve to have you? I don't know. I guess we'll see when we move on. Not everyone deserves to have you. It's nice to be appreciated. It's nice that they feel that they have lost something valuable, because they did, if this is your story here. And you have Seahorse and Peacock that came out. And, you know, it's beautiful energy. It's very different energy. I can't help it. There's two different people here on the table. It's like over and over again, right? So let's start with the Seahorse. It says family matters here. But you have the Seahorse. And the Seahorse is the sign of Cancer. If you look it up on the internet, it invokes the sign of Cancer. Right. And I will post, as a matter of fact, I'll post the link. I won't be able to pin it because I'm already going to be pinning something. But I'll put it in the description box. How's that? In the description box, you'll see Seahorse and Peacock. You could read up on what it means. I think it's pretty interesting, but it does encompass the sign of Cancer. And then you have Peacock, beware of great pride. When we look at the Peacock encompasses Leo, and there's Leo energy again. You could be dealing with someone with very strong Leo placements, but then again, we have Leo dates in August. So it could be very date oriented here. There could be someone here that prides themselves on their love of family and closeness, and someone that's very cocky and arrogant. Very well could be. Okay. Definitely. I'll post these links in the description box. Okay. If I forget for some reason, please just leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to do that. Sometimes things get lost by just doing too many things at once. Here you have the female rune here. And these are witches' runes, by the way. And it's very Venusian energy. You have Venus over and over again in this reading, right? You have Venus, and it's really Taurian, Venus Taurus related, okay? And it stands for fertility, abundance, love. I mean, it's all there over and over and over again, this Venus energy. You have the letters P, B as in boy, K, and N as in Nancy. Now, these letters could be obviously someone's initials. It could be a place you meet someone, a place you go out to dinner, an airport, a street name. Keep this very, very close to you and have a very broad mind when it comes to these initials / letters. You have come together. Let me see. Come together, number 8. Wow, beautiful energy, actually. Yeah, so you have come together, and this is number 8. And when I see the number 8, I always think of the infinity symbol, something coming back around again. You know, for many of you, this is something from the past that's coming back around. And this is a partnering, right, of two things. Love is definitely calling here. Definitely calling. I mean, that's so obvious here. And that stork up there, it brings a message. It brings a message to you here, Cancer. You do have Mystic, and this is 21 in the second. Here, look, another, you see the butterfly, the moth, they go into a cocoon, they change. It's that Plutonian energy, right? Yeah, it is, the Mystic is a remover of darkness, right? A light worker. And, you know, this could very well be you. It could be an energy you're stepping into. Maybe in the past when you were with this person, it was different. You know, sometimes all the light within us can be absorbed by a darker energy, right? And when we get rid of that energy, it may be painful, but as we go on without them, we start to morph and change into something lighter. And when that person comes back around, sometimes something feels off. I mean, that's just for at least one of you here. But you do have a light worker energy here, and I do believe this is you. Transmutation of poison to nectar, dreaming something into existence. This could be the situation that you wished for. Very well could be. You have Gna. It could be Na. It could be Gna. It is the messenger of the gods. And this is a message coming. It's an incoming message. It's very mercurial based, right? We talked about that Mercury energy. She's an encouraging energy, but this is something that is generated from your fears or your deepest wish. Okay? So there is a message coming forth to you, and here it is again. Come together and encounter, right? And it does say meet by chance, love at first sight, crush. This, I really believe very strongly, this is something from your past. Listen, I understand if many of you are looking at this reading and saying, I don't want to be with this person again. I have no desire to even for them to come back. This could very well be true, but you should listen to it anyway to see what might happen if they do come forward. Sometimes people come back around to show us how much stronger we are, right? Sometimes people come back around to teach us another lesson, right? Sometimes people come back around because they deserve another chance. Everything is just so different. So let's just finish this because I'm a little invested in this now. You do have here wishful expectations. And see, it says acknowledging the smoke and mirrors in your life for what they are. Very Geminian, right? There is something here that, and this could be past energy, you know, kind of meshing with this new energy here, wishful expectations, getting rid of magical thinking that you may have had in the past, using that sword to cut through the bullshit and see things for what it really is. Very important energy here, Cancer. Now here are your 3 legs. As I always say, I cut your month into thirds. Yes, the last leg can come first, vice versa, right? It is all relative. It is not a science. So we have to look at it as a spiritual experience and not a science. Let me look, move all this out of the way. Okay. So on your first leg here, you have reflection and projection. So let's see what that means. Wow. Yeah, you have those 2 energies again. But, you know, you have here the 4 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands in this situation is different. It's very different on this side than this side. On this side, it is not, everything is not what it seems, right? If you look at the sun in this card, it is warm, it's enveloping, it's beautiful, it's very real, right? And on this side, the sun looks almost fake, doesn't it? Fake. There's something fake about this. So this could be your past energy. This could be something that you've learned about this person. It could be something that you have learned. Yeah. But this is coming back around again. Okay, let me move this like this. And here you have, and this sort of fits, you have the 9 of Pentacles here. 9 of Pentacles is Venus in Virgo. This is Venus in Aries, by the way. You have Venus in Virgo, someone trying to enter your world. And something very good happening for you, perhaps work-wise, perhaps in your job. There is, see, the 9 of Pentacles is a very independent, beautiful energy. It's somebody that has it, you know, either is being recognized for something or has been and is really starting to gain momentum in their life, right? Recognition, security. But look at the back there. You see that person in the back? I'll throw a picture of this up there so you could really see it. It is somebody that's trying to interrupt this person's peace. Now, sometimes I take that as very positive, right? And because of everything we already said, it can be positive for some of you because, you know, the jury's still out whether this person deserves your time and your energy. But there is somebody here that is going to try to infiltrate your peace. It could be very unexpected. We talked about some unexpected energy. And here we go. We have 2 very different human beings here, right? We have the Queen of Cups and we have the Knight of Swords. And, you know, the Queen of Cups is Mercury and, is Moon in Cancer energy. And it is very, this is a person who prioritizes love, long and happy partnerships, kind of like the seahorse, right? Her chalice is different from any other cup in this deck, right? Hers is for scrying alone. It's not for drinking. She is gifted psychically. What did we say over here? The mystic. She's gifted psychically. Maybe a new perspective for you. Maybe it's something you've always known about yourself. Maybe it's sort of becoming very crisp right now for you. But she is a very gifted person and she sees very far. Now here you have another person. And each side is different. All right. So you have the Knight of Swords, Mercury and Gemini energy. And this is a person who puts their emotions last. His horse symbolizes a barely tamed nature, right? You see how the horse is just galloping? No real thought, but a lot of speed, right? His horse symbolizes someone who is very quick thinking, right? He can be argumentative, but he's always impulsive. So there's 2 very different people, 2 very different energies here. So you have someone who's very prideful, could be arrogant, could be very could be very quick thinking, could be very quick moving. And then you have another person who is very sweet and very, very intuitive and very open to true love, right? Very different. And when we add this up and we break it down, we get Uranus energy, right? That's Aquarian energy. It is unpredictable change. There is some change afoot here. Yeah. So you have this reflection card. Be careful not to project yourself onto this person. Look at and see what's truly there, rather than what you would like. We've all done that, right? I know I have, right? So just be very mindful here, Cancer. Here on leg 2, you have an Ace of Earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy, a very grounded energy, right? You have the 7 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands is Mars in Leo energy. And it's different on each side. On this side, you can tell like he has all those wands at his feet. He's been elevated. This could be somebody coming in. This actually could be you. It could be, things that you have conquered in your life, things that you've gotten over, things you've gotten through. For sure, it is a reward. It is a reward of sorts, right? It's like that 9 of Pentacles energy, acquiring certain things, acquiring certain freedoms, acquiring certain strengths. I see it as a strength, but it's sort of like an I'm still standing type strength, right? Like, yeah, I've been through some crap, but I'm still standing and I'm very proud of myself where I am compared to where I have been. Now for your center card, and I always tell you the center card is truly important. You have Aquarius energy here with the star, right? Pure Aquarian energy. But I have to tell you, do you see this person looking at this other? This card can mean many things in many readings, but taking into consideration everything that we have already talked about, there is a person here looking at another person, a person who is a healer, a person who is blessed, a person who is looking for their, to be completed by another human being, is looking at someone else. And you see that person is just almost a thought form. This person doesn't really exist, not truly. And yet the star has hope, looking at them in a hopeful way. You may not believe that could ever happen, but for some of you, it obviously can. And here you have the 3 of Swords coming in on this side. Now, look at this knight studying this pain, right? This is something that already happened. Saturn and Libra energy. Do you see the blue chrysanthemum over there? The blue chrysanthemum doesn't exist, right? And it is a symbol, therefore, of the spirit's endurance, right? What have you lived through? Something you lived through, something painful, something that may be in the back of your mind, right next to these court cards. It is a relationship that had caused you a lot of pain in the past here, Cancer. Definitely. It's time to ground yourself in this earth energy. Yes, you could be dealing with an earth sign. Yes, you could be leaning on your earth sign if it's highly aspected in your chart. But it is a grounding energy that Spirit's asking you to really grab. Now, when you add this up and you break it down, we get Mars energy. And that Mars energy could be passion, right? You could have a passion. Maybe in the past you had a deep passion for this person. Maybe you have a hidden passion for this person. Maybe your confidence is really, because that's a very confident energy too, right? It could be that your confidence is in a different place from where it was in the past, and you're looking at this person for who they are, right? Definitely could be true, especially with all the energy we've already spoken about. Here we have on your last leg, you have divine timing. Yes, it is definitely divine timing. And I'm pretty sure in your summer reading, something like this in a different deck came out. So something according to divine timing is presenting itself to you at just the right time. You have here, yep, you have the Knight of Pentacles, Mercury and Virgo energy, slow moving, right? But definitely everything this Knight builds, it's very different from this Knight of Swords energy. Everything this Knight builds may happen slowly, but it's very secure, very strong, very long lasting. Unlike this Knight of Swords right? Maybe things happen quick for this knight, but they don't last very long, right? So here you have this Knight of Pentacles energy, and it's right next to this I'm Still Standing card. It is a strength, right? You have here the Knight of Cups on this side, Cancer energy. It's Venus in Cancer energy, actually. And just in this deck, it's Venus in Cancer. You see that little crab there? Shadow side of the Knight, right? It tells us to be mindful of offers that are coming in. There is a shadow side presenting itself, and it is right next to this star card, and it is right next to this Nine of Pentacles card. So be very careful here with offers that come in August from sources that you may feel a little bit. Now, this could be a relationship that is coming back around again, or it could be a relationship like something that you've experienced in the past that your spidey sense starts tingling. You're like, wait a minute, I felt this energy before, and it did not lead me to a good place, right? Could be. You have here the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands on this side anyway is Mars and Aries energy. But think about, this card asks us to think more about the why than the what, right? Think about why things happen the way they did, why you want things to happen differently. You know, the outcomes of things. Divine timing is here for a reason. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get Cancer, we get moon energy. It's the moon. And that is a power energy for you. All right, not for everyone. And it's a pull, it's a gravitational pull towards something, but it is a power card. You're going to be stepping into your power here with the decisions you make for yourself here, Cancer. Now let's look at your challenges, because here it is. Look, you have a challenge coming up, and this card speaks for itself. There is something of a challenge hidden in this chemistry you have or had with another person. You have to, and I have to pull these cards together. You have the Page of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Wands in the upright, right? With the Page of Wands, it's Mercury and Sagittarius, and in reverse, that's very hesitant energy, right? But you have the Queen of Wands here, right? Very confident. Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. And when we look at these energies together, especially in this particular column, the Page energy may be holding back the mature excitement of the Queen, right? What does, right, the part of you that has seen so many things know, right? There is something going on here that is knowledge-based, and you have the World coming in reverse. So it's going to be a challenge for some of you anyway, right? Some of you may want to stay stuck in this energy. Not all of you. I don't think it's most of you, but it's some of you. And that is very fixed energy, the World, right? It's a completion. It's Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius energy, but it is Jupiter energy nonetheless, and it is staying stuck and not moving on. All right, it's almost like a warning, honestly. We add this up and we break it down. It's no surprise we get Jupiter energy again, right? It's growing pains, expansion. Your world can expand. Do you want it to expand, or do you want to stay stuck in this energy here, Cancer? Okay. Here in your opportunity column, interesting. It's very rare that another sign will get this as an opportunity, but this is your card, right? You have that moon energy, and this can mean a dark night of the soul, but this in your opportunity column, I can't help but think that this is something you already experienced. This is a power situation. It's your own energy. You have the Ace of Cups in reverse, which is you pointing all that love inward towards yourself and making decisions from there. You have the King of Pentacles, which is Sun and Taurus energy, long-term stability, long-term thinking, what is good for me long-term. That is the thoughts you're going to have, and that's really good. You have Virgo energy here with the Hermit, and it is that inward reflection, right? Going inward to figure out what the heck you want, going inward to make these decisions for yourself. What's good for me? I like that energy for you. We add that up and we break it down. We get Pluto energy again, right? There's a lot of Venus energy in here, but there is almost as much Pluto energy, and that is that Scorpion energy, transformation, evolution, facing hidden truths. Maybe it was hidden in the past. Maybe it was hidden up until now, but you're going to uncover something, even if it's only about yourself and the new strength you've acquired here, Cancer, that this person may not be used to seeing. Keep that in mind. So let's look at I'm going to pull one of these cards for you, and then we'll do your numerology to tie everything together. I really enjoy doing that. For Cancer, you go. Pretty quick, Cancer. You have death. You have Pluto energy again, right? It's the end of a cycle, beginnings, change, metamorphoses. The death card, Pluto again. Very interesting energy. When we add up all the numbers in this reading, we get the number 11, which is a bridging number. It's a cardinal number, just like you're a cardinal sign. So it is the beginning of something, right? The crossing a bridge, it's a bridging number, right? And the number that came out the most here was number 3, and that it kind of surprises me a little, but it is Jupiter energy, right? It's that expansive energy. Your world is expanding, right? Maybe you have expanded already. Maybe you have grown already. Maybe you've outgrown this situation, right? You could look back and idealize certain things about it. That doesn't mean that maybe that's one of the reasons for at least one of you that it's coming back around. But you have here, the planet that came out the most was, of course, Venus. It was almost Mars. It was almost Pluto, but Venus by a long shot, that love energy. You have the sign that came out the most. It was neck and neck between Taurus and Aries. So you have here Taurus energy, which is Venus energy, and you have Aries energy, which is that strong, confident energy that you perhaps have grown into. The signs that we talked about were Capricorn, Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, Aries, Libra, Virgo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Sagittarius. Now you have Venus times 2. Venus came out a lot. I mean, I'm talking overall. It was a lot more than twice, okay? But you have a lot of Venus energy here. And it does pay to note that on August 11th, we have Venus conjunction with Jupiter, right? And it highlights the pleasure and pursuit of your innermost desires, right? And on August 25th, you have Venus trine Saturn retrograde, emphasis what you wish to commit to. I like that. It's kind of like this King of Pentacles energy. What's good for me long term, right? That's really important energy. You do have that Jupiter energy that's very prevalent in this reading, that expansive energy. And you also have that Mars energy that's coming in, giving you the confidence to see things perhaps from a new perspective than you did in the past. But you do have plenty of death and rebirth energy. I really do wish you the best, man. It's great. Don't forget to listen to your birthday reading. Namaste, Cancer.